Holy! Look at all that sludge. That is not good. Hey everyone, Giovanni here. And this is the channel that shows you that you can work on your own car, but probably do it the wrong way. Today, I'm gonna be talking about my 1981 Corvette. As you can probably see, this is the engine that I just got out of the junkyard. It's a 4.8 liter LR4 LS engine. And they were typically in Silverados. This is the lowest spec, lowest horsepower LS engine that they offer, but there's a million of them, literally. I mean, you can find them everywhere. They're all over the place. They were in a bunch of cars, bunch of trucks. In this video, I'm gonna tell you what I'm going to do to this engine to make this Corvette a nutcase. Let's do a closer look at this thing. So as I said, this is an LR4 for 4.8 liter, and it's gonna go in that car. And the first thing I'm gonna do is just take it all apart. I'm going to clean it all up, put new bearings in it, and just the gaskets, the regular stuff. And then I'm gonna put it all back together, throw it in this car. Then after it's in the car, I'm gonna turn these manifolds around. So this is over here, or I might get new manifolds that put the collector here. And I'm gonna do that for both sides so I can mount twin turbos on this thing. When I found this engine, there was a few things that were a little alarming. Like the fact that this freeze plug has junk on it and it looked like it was leaking. So I'm not sure what that is, but I'll find out. Same thing with that one, it was kind of like leaking or whatever. There's a bunch of grease on it, but I don't think it's damaged. It just has a bunch of grease on it. You see that a lot actually on engines. When I was there, I got the front drive system, the alternator, I got all that stuff, the power steering pump, all that stuff. I got the flex plate here, which I'm not going to use, but I got new, or not new, but I got more coil packs in case I need that. The usual stuff. And I was taking off these manifold bolts. A few of them broke, which is pretty common. Like on these engines, they get rusted and break a lot. But as far as everything goes, this thing is in not too bad a shape. So I think I can, make some power with it fairly easy. I'm actually excited about this because this means that this is the first day of the 1,000 horsepower Corvette project. It has finally started with getting this engine. But first things first, I am going to show you now the process of me getting this engine. So now you know how I got it. Now it's here, what's next? Let's talk about what I'm going to do with this engine. Like I said, I'm gonna take it apart, put all the same parts back into it, but I'm going to, you know, tweak here or there a few things. I'm gonna tweak the rings. I'm gonna make the ring gaps wider, because when you put turbos on these things and you don't do that, that's a surefire way to just explode the pistons. Like they will break. So I'm gonna put more gap in the rings, but I'm gonna try to throw everything in here back together using these parts, like the same crank, the same rods, same pistons. I will get a huge, nasty camshaft, but the reason why I want to keep it stock for now is because I'm gonna get a Holley Terminator X computer, and I want to learn how to, you know, get that tuned up, because I really don't know anything about it yet, like how to tune that. So if I explode a nice new engine with new internals that cost thousands of dollars, I'm gonna be way more upset if I explode that than I explode this piece of crap, because I'll just go get a new piece of crap to explode. So recap, take this apart, clean it up, put the same parts in it, put the twin turbos on it, get the computer, tune it, and if all that goes well, then I'll take it back out of the car, and I'll put a real beefy bottom end in, you know, like forged everything, you know, crazy good bottom end that can handle the 1,000 horsepower. Then I'll put it back in the car, and I'm going to take out the transmission in this car, build a nice beefy one, put the transmission in. You see where this is going? Like, this is gonna be a very long project. So I'm not gonna have 1,000 horsepower in this thing anytime soon. It's gonna be a long time, but I will do it, I promise. But for now, I'm just gonna throw this back together. I'll have, you know, like 600, 700, 800, which is, you know, good, but I want that 1,000 real bad. In the meantime, let's start taking this thing apart and seeing what's broken, what's wore out. Like, you can tell a lot from an engine by the way it wore over the years. So let's see the wear patterns and see what I have to buy, what's, you know, what's broken, what's not. Let's go. All right, I took the heads off of that thing, the intake, the valley pan, I took off the rockers, all that stuff, and let's have a look at it. As you can see, this actually looks pretty good. Like there's, you know, I know there's stains and things, but the sides of the cylinder walls look pretty good. Like there's no crazy scarring or any kind of like craziness going on. There's no like deep scratches. There's no really, there's no rust or anything. I'm actually pretty happy so far with how this looks. The heads tell a bit of a different story because these things are completely like sludged out. Look at all the sludge in here. I'm not sure what the hell happened, but look, watch this. Look at all that sludge. It's crazy. I don't know what happened. Did they not change the freaking oil in this thing or something? I don't know, but this one's not as bad, but this one's pretty bad. I'm just gonna hit both of these with a wire brush and just put some brake cleaner on there and just get all that crap off, and then I'm gonna take the rest of the engine apart, the bottom end, and then we'll have a look at that. Okay, I just took off the front cover, and you won't believe this. Look at the slack in this timing chain. Holy! That is like the worst I've seen in years. That is crazy. But we'll fix this up. Okay, I got the engine almost taken apart. The only thing that's left is the bottom end here, like the pistons and all that stuff. But I wanted to show you guys this. This is the camshaft, and I pulled it out, and everything looked okay, except for this first journal looks okay, but there is a slight bit of wear on it, and the lobes are okay. But if you look at this, can you see the lines in that, like the amount of damage? And if you run your fingernail across it, you can feel very obvious pitting, and like there's a lot of bumps, and it's like very badly damaged. And these lobes again look fine, but then this journal is also beat up really badly. This is the worst one. This has a lot of bumps across it. Like, that is not good. But in my case, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to use this cam, but maybe that is an indication of what happened to this engine. Maybe some high revving with not enough oil pressure. Who knows? But that's why I'm also going to get a better, a good oil pump that can handle all that pressure. Now that this is coming out, let's continue with the rest of the engine. Okay, I got this thing fully taken apart. Everything's in pieces. Let's take a closer look at them and see what the hell is going on. All right, here's the crankshaft. It's actually not, I guess it's not in too bad a shape, but it's not great. Like, there is some slight scoring on the journals here, but like none that really catch your finger. There's some staining here from the oil. I don't know what the hell happened to this thing. Like, somebody must have just spun this thing up to the moon, because there's like, I showed you this already, the cam. I mean, this one's chewed up. I mean, this thing's messed up badly, but the crank is not as bad. I'm not too worried about the crank, honestly, because I'm gonna get a new crank. I'm gonna get an entire, you know, forged rotating assembly for this engine later though. For now, I'm just gonna slam this garbage back together and you know, put turbos on it just so I can learn how to tune up the computer properly, because I'd be a lot more pissed if I blew up a expensive good engine than this pile of junk. Anyway, for now I'm gonna clean all this up, slam it back together. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna focus on these heads a little bit. I'm gonna try to hand port these myself because they're you know, they're junkyard heads. I mean, they're like literally junk. So if I screw them up, I can just go back to the junkyard and get a new pair for like 50 bucks. That's gonna be in the next video though. Okay, well I guess you would say this is part number 1 of the 1,000 horsepower engine build for this Corvette. But remember, this is gonna be a long series because I'm not gonna hit 1,000 for a long time because I want to, you know, put all of this original garbage back in here. You know, spin it up, rev it to the moon, tune it, you know, do all that stuff. And then once I get kind of confident with my tuning abilities with the new computer and, like, you know, the turbos and the boost control, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But you'll see it, don't worry. But once I get confident with all that stuff, then I'm going to get a new rotating assembly, you know, all forged pistons, forged rods, forged crank, and I'm gonna slap all that in there. Not only that, new transmission. I'll probably get a T56 or a TR6060. I'm not sure. I gotta do a lot of research on the transmission. And I'm gonna yank that in here. I'm gonna have to like cut the floor up probably. A lot of work, but you'll see it. And I'm positive I'm gonna mess up a whole bunch of stuff, but that'll be fun for you. So anyway, I think that wraps up this video. In the next video, I'm gonna be hitting those heads pretty hard. I'm gonna be, you know, hand tuning those, and I'm sure I'll mess that up too. And if you guys like watching me mess up stuff, or you just like watching me stutter, please consider subscribing. There's a lot more craziness on the way. So, like always, I'm Giovanni, reminding you that if an amateur like me can do stuff like this, then so can an amateur like you.